Have you ever wondered why some people seem to shine in the middle of workplace chaos, while everyone else feels like they're barely surviving? Picture this. You walk into the office and the air feels heavy. There's whispering in the hallway, subtle glances across desks, and that uneasy sense that something is brewing behind closed doors. Deadlines aren't the only thing people are chasing. There's gossip, power plays, and a constant undercurrent of competition that doesn't feel healthy. For most of us, this kind of environment is exhausting. It eats away at our focus, our confidence, and even our mental health. But for some, it's exactly where they thrive. The drama fuels them, the confusion empowers them, and the tension, it's their stage. These are the people who seem to pull strings without ever getting caught, who know exactly which words to plant and which alliances to fake. Often they read not just difficult coworkers, they display patterns rooted in something far more calculated. Narcissistic personality traits. Stay with me until the end of this video, because we're going to uncover why narcissists love toxic office politics, the subtle tactics they use, and most importantly how you can protect yourself from getting caught in their web. 1. Understanding toxic office politics. Office politics exists in almost every workplace. Sometimes it's harmless, a bit of social maneuvering, networking, or competing for promotions. But toxic office politics, that's when the culture becomes driven by manipulation, favoritism, and hidden agendas rather than collaboration, merit, and mutual respect. In these environments, information becomes currency. People trade gossip like stock shares, alliances shift based on convenience, and performance often matters less than perception. Instead of working toward shared goals, individuals work to position themselves above others, sometimes even sabotaging their co-workers to get ahead. The result, a workplace where trust evaporates. Colleagues stop sharing ideas for fear they'll be stolen. Meetings feel tense, not productive, and everyone learns to watch their back instead of working together. For most people, this environment is deeply stressful, but for a narcissist, it's perfect. 2. Why narcissists thrive in this chaos. Narcissists crave three things: control, admiration, and validation. And toxic office politics offers all three served on a silver platter. Chaos as oxygen in a healthy workplace. Transparency and stability limit manipulation. But in a toxic one, uncertainty reigns. And uncertainty gives narcissists an opening. The less predictable the environment, the easier it is for them to step in, take control, and present themselves as the one with answers, whether those answers are true or not. Power through manipulation. Narcissists are skilled at reading people's insecurities, desires, and weaknesses. In a toxic culture, they use this skill to build influence not through hard work, but through strategic manipulation. They might befriend someone to extract information, pit co-workers against each other to maintain control, or spread selective truths to make themselves look good. Drama as a stage. Every narcissist needs an audience, and where better to find one than in a workplace constantly buzzing with drama. Each conflict becomes an opportunity to showcase themselves as the hero, victim, or expert. They position themselves in the center of every narrative, ensuring they remain the focal point of attention. 3. The tactics they use in toxic office politics. Once you start to see their patterns, the strategies become easier to spot. 1. Planting division. Narcissists subtly encourage competition between colleagues, sometimes by dropping small, seemingly innocent comments. "I heard they're considering you for that promotion, but you didn't hear it from me." They create rivalries that keep others distracted and less likely to notice their own moves. 2. Playing both victim and savior. One day they're telling you how unfairly they've been treated. The next, they're stepping in to help someone else soften the very person they undermined. This dual role builds sympathy and admiration at the same time. 3. Charm with authority. Cruelty in the shadows. In meetings with higher-ups, they're confident, polished, and charismatic. But away from the spotlight, they may belittle co-workers, dismiss ideas, or take credit for work they didn't do. For selective truth-telling, they rarely lie outright. They don't have to. A half-truth, a missing detail, or a story told from a certain angle can be just as effective in shaping perception. For the impact on victims, if you've ever worked under or alongside a narcissist in a toxic office, you know the toll it takes. Erosion of self-confidence, constant criticism, whether subtle or direct, chips away at your belief in your own abilities. You start second-guessing decisions, hesitating to share ideas, or wondering if you're overreacting. Chronic stress. The unpredictability keeps your nervous system on high alert. You don't know if you'll be praised or humiliated, included or excluded. Isolation. Narcissists often turn colleagues against each other, making it hard to form genuine, trusting relationships at work. Without allies, the toxicity feels even heavier. Career stagnation. Because they control the narrative, narcissists can block promotions, steal credit, or damage your reputation to protect their own position. 5. How to recognize the red flags early. Spotting the signs early can help you avoid getting pulled into their game. Constant drama. There's always a conflict and they're always somehow involved but never to blame. Shifting alliances. Their friends change depending on who's most useful to them at the moment. Information control. They withhold details from some people while oversharing with others, creating confusion and mistrust. Charm switching. They're warm and charismatic in public, cold and critical in private. If you notice these patterns repeatedly, especially from someone who seems to enjoy the tension more than the resolution, you might be dealing with a narcissist who's thriving on toxic office politics. By now, you can see why narcissists thrive in toxic office politics. You've also seen the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, ways they manipulate people and situations to keep themselves on top. But here's the part I really want you to hear: none of this is your fault. 1. It's not your fault if you've been caught in the crossfire. If you've doubted yourself, if you've gone home feeling like maybe you were the problem, please know, you're not alone, and you're not imagining it. Narcissists are masters at making you question your own reality. That's part of the game. They want you off balance, unsure of your worth, and too distracted by self-doubt to notice the bigger picture. So, the first step to taking back your power is to stop blaming yourself. You're not weak for feeling stressed in a toxic environment. You're human. 2. Practical strategies to protect yourself. Surviving and thriving despite a narcissist in the workplace requires a balance of emotional resilience and strategic action. Set clear boundaries. This means deciding in advance what you will and won't engage with. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to defend yourself against every rumor. Silence can be a powerful boundary. B. Keep communication professional and concise. The less emotional fuel you give them, the less they have to work with. Stick to facts, avoid personal comments, and keep interactions short. C. Document everything. Save emails. Take notes after important conversations. Keep a record of deadlines, feedback, and agreements. This isn't paranoia, it's protection. D. Find allies you can trust even in toxic workplaces. There are usually a few people who value integrity. Building quiet mutual support can help you stay grounded and prevent isolation. E. Manage your energy, not just your time. Narcissists will drain your mental bandwidth if you let them. Schedule short breaks, step outside for fresh air, or take a walk after tense meetings. Your mental state is part of your defense. 3. Strengthening your internal boundaries. Sometimes the most important boundaries are invisible. They're the ones you set in your own mind. Detachment from the drama. Remind yourself, this is their story, not mine. You don't need to play a role in every narrative they create. Separating work from self-worth. Your value doesn't come from one job, one team, or one manager's opinion. It's bigger than that. Reframing success in a toxic workplace. Surviving with your integrity intact is a form of success. 4. When it's time to walk away. Sometimes, the healthiest choice is to remove yourself from the environment entirely. This isn't failure, it's self-preservation. If you've tried setting boundaries, finding allies, and keeping things professional, but the culture remains toxic and leadership allows it to continue, you have permission to put your well-being first. Looking for a new role in a healthier environment isn't running away. It's choosing a space where you can actually grow without constantly defending yourself. 5. A final word of encouragement. I know how exhausting it can be to navigate a workplace like this. I know how easy it is to feel small, powerless, or invisible in the shadow of someone who seems to control the entire narrative. But here's the truth. Narcissists rely on the belief that you want to see through them. The moment you understand their playbook, they lose a big part of their power over you. You have more influence over your own story than you think. You can protect your energy, you can choose your responses, and you can decide where and with whom you invest your time and talent. So if you're dealing with a narcissist in a toxic office, remember, you're not imagining it, you're not overreacting, and you're not alone. There are ways to stay grounded, to shield yourself from the chaos, and to keep your confidence intact. Take a deep breath. Give yourself credit for surviving in a space that wasn't designed for your growth, and know that healthier environments do exist. You deserve to work in one. If this video helped you see the dynamics more clearly, share it with someone who might be struggling right now. And if you've got 15 minutes, grab your coffee, take a seat, and explore some of my other videos. We'll keep uncovering the hidden patterns of toxic workplace culture together.